What is Srividya? What is Tantra? What is a Tantric tradition? Who is the goddess? What types of practices and rituals are performed in Srividya? And who is authorized to recite Srividya mantras? These are some of the questions that we explore in this course, YS 133, Śrīvidyā, Tantric Wisdom of the Goddess. My name is Anya Golovkova. I'm Associate Professor of Religion at Lake Forest College, and I'm your instructor for this course. Srividya is a Hindu Tantric goddess tradition centered on the worship of Tripura Sundari, also known as the beauty of the three cities. Tripura is understood as the supreme deity. She is the power, the Shakti, without which even Shiva cannot act. This is a goddess known by many names, including Raja Rajeshwari, the ruler of kings, and her popular name Lalita, playful goddess. In this course, we examine tantras, scriptural texts presented in the form of a dialogue. First, we look at tantras from before the emergence of Srividya. These are earlier texts that worshipped Nitya goddesses and Kamadeva, the god of love. We investigate what these earlier forms of worship shared with Srividya. We look at iconographic elements, portrayal of female sexuality, and how it was incorporated into the religious traditions. And of course, we also learn about the tantras from within the tradition itself. The Vamakeshwari Mata Tantra is the earliest extant text that outlines the ritual structure of the Shri Chakra, where Tripura Sundari and her retinue of subordinate goddesses are located. We also examine the Yogini Hridaya, heart of the Yogini. This text marks a major turning point in the early history of Shakta traditions. Its reinterpretation within the context of non-dual Shaivas. This shift represented a major doctrinal reorientation. And from this point on, non-dualism became an integral component of Srividya scriptures and commentaries. A very important concept emerged, Jivan Mukti, liberation while living. The goal of Srividya practice is liberation while living, but also mastery of this world. The paradigm shift in Shaiva philosophical texts that began towards the end of the first millennium of the Common Era and continued into the first centuries of the second millennium was indebted to the inspiration of Kashmirian Abhinavagupta and Kshemaraja. These scholars, these masters, provide a model of non-dual Shaiva ideas, language, and concepts. And this non-dual interpretation was so influential and so important that it spread, it was continued even in the South and throughout the Indian subcontinent. We conclude the course by examining the global spread of tantric and popular worship of Tripura Sundari, Lalita, and we explore what made this tradition so enduring and so influential for over a millennium. We read some of my work on Srividya, which is the foundation for my forthcoming book that traces the early history of this tradition. We review other scholarship on the contemporary tradition, exploring the differences in how modern teachers interpret Srividya and the degrees of secrecy and access. We'll also look at attitudes towards ritual purity and transgression and the spread of both tantric and popular worship of Tripura Sundari beyond India and Nepal. We also sample devotional texts to this goddess, such as Saundarya Lahari, the wave of beauty, and conclude by examining what has allowed this tradition to endure and adapt to cultural changes while also remaining remarkably stable in its ritual practices. If you decide to take this course, one of our readings uses a metaphor for the knowledge of this tradition. Imagine a vast sunlit ocean with all the colors in the blue, green, and gold of the spectrum. And that is the vastness of this tradition. We cannot study the entirety of Srividya that has been practiced for more than a millennium in its entirety in 4 weeks. But we can make significant progress in learning about its historical development in the context of Tantric traditions, the beauty of its texts. We also study structures, but also the creativity that animates these ritual structures and gives them life. I hope to see you in class.